what about the Guardian, Orin? They've changed the fate of the universe. They chose to be here.
Each choice, right, trial, wasn't absent an organizer. Do you know you comply with instructions you don't know exist? From the moment you arrived on Kepler, you've marked coincidence after coincidence. Happenstance, serendipity. The brush of a spider web against your cheek may as well be chiseled slabs to the 9.
Watch out. A large contingent of Elixni Shanks is approaching. They seem drawn to the central reactor now that it's producing an energy signal.
Rot! Damn it! Colossal Shank!
Strangelet. Collect it now.
The likelihood of the outer orbits being knocked out of position has decreased. They appreciate that... Oh, am I finally allowed to remember something?
They're speaking to you?
They are reminding me... No, I am reminding me. The message.
You've talked about this message before. Is it for us?
It is. It's in the slab I chiseled myself as the Nine fought to tear me apart. But the relief is weathered, blurred and buffed away by their sands.
Focus. If there's something you need us to know, I trust you can find it again.
Chisel in hand, I will remember, but not yet. Not until the time is ripe.
Guardian, get that Strangelet capsule back to the Ionians. Now that the power's back on, we're that much closer to reaching the Singularity.
Vex like these around Kepler. Ones that have separated. Usually they're dead. That Vex, the Vex that will be, is important. Let me explain. The Nine understand the Vex as constants. Brass rods on which the fabric of time is stretched and hung.
Vex seem pretty active as far as I've seen them. They keep busy building their spires and shooting people who wander by.
You're talking about motion. I'm talking about knowing where to look for Vex under the rug. No surprises.
So, when you say constant, you mean reliable. The Vex are always this way no matter what.
Yes, but the cheese you have found is a new culture. Do you think it could rejoin the collective?
Ya se cuajó esta panela. It must find its own way. Deleting source of function trace. It wants us to stop whatever's tracing it. Makes sense. Where did this Vex come from specifically? Maybe it left something behind?
All Vex come from the primordial sea. This one's sea persists. Somewhere.
Like we thought, these Vex must have locked onto your location to ambush you. What's this message? Oh! Sharp Cheddar is in my feed. It says, codependent variable, faction risks subsiding, plant decoy on destroyed codependent. I get it. Drop the radiolaria sample you took earlier here. Fake Cheddar's death. Could work. Pardon me. Sharp Cheddar.
It's yours to look after now. Will you refrigerate it?
I was sort of thinking the Ionians might look after it. They like learning, and Sharp Cheddar is new.
They'll teach it. New Year sunrises. All the beginnings anyone could have. Maybe a thesis.
Guardian, I have an incoming transmission. Patching it through.
I have the Ionian Dean here. She sends her greetings. I'll relay your messages to her and translate what I can of her response. Whatever is in there is dangerous, but precious to them. It's been out of reach. Lodi, Drifter, we have another Strangelet. The Guardian's dropping it off at the altar. Drifter, any updates on the hole?
It's starting to drift toward... almost like a gravitational pull. I'm burning thrusters just to keep it in place. I don't know what'll happen when I let this bird loose, but I'm seeing this through, even if my instincts are telling me to scram.
I'd be worried if your instincts weren't telling you to run from a black hole. Glad to have you here with us, Mr. Drifter.
We have one more Strangelet to find before our work here is done.
It's almost time to meet 3.
I talked to Dean Rebecca about Sharp Cheddar. it'd be remiss of me not to point out the potential risk. But the Ionians are interested regardless. Dean Rebecca says she has safety protocols in place.
Cheese needs to age before it's anything. It's good. Thank you.
This doesn't seem like just a tactical advantage you want to preserve. Orin, this is important to you, isn't it?
A lake's flat surface reflects an image. I see myself. We both emerged. Do you see?
I think I do.
They want to talk to you. To help you understand, both of you. Oh no, don't touch it. Sorry. I don't know what happens if you touch it.
You hold it. Guardian, get close.
Two speaks on behalf of three, that you might grasp your necessary presence at this point in space, in time. Commander, your first step, scheduled at our hand. An intervention necessary to ensure attendance.
The Nine killed me to get me here?
From simple perspectives, the technicality. Light bearer. Thank you for your attendance with minimal interference. To you we say, vengeance required. The culprit lies within. The drifter must prepare his gift. Emissary, reveal your truth. Wake the dead. They will speak. You will listen.
Why would we listen? The Nine manipulated our lives. How far back?
Two showed me how you died. But I already knew the rest. You deserve to know the truth. I'm sorry, Miss Ray.
up right here today, dreaming of the past. Now when I call you up, it's like your phone don't ring, baby. And when I see you in a crowd and call your name out loud, it's like you don't hear a thing. Like a king who lost his crown. If you need me, I'll be around, dreaming of the past. But right now, darling, when it feels like my world is falling, I hope and I pray that soon as I hang my head in shame, dreaming of the past.
What was your name?
Lewis. Agent Lewis Sierra.
Thank you, Lewis.
How long did you know?
From the second I saw you.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because you're not her! I figured the Nine put you here to torture me. The one face I recognize. And she had no idea who I was. If I told you, it would be because I wanted that. Not because it would help you.
Well, you're right. It doesn't. You know that much about me, Lodi. Did the Nine kill me just to ensure I would end up here?
Yes. Maybe your body had to be in the right place for your ghost to find you?
I woke up by a tar in the desert with a flower in my hand. Ophiuchus chose me as his guardian. And every choice I made led me here.
Catastrophic intervention. That flower was an aster. She...
I don't want to know. Don't tell me her name. Don't tell me anything about her. She's dead.
Ruskaya karta! Где Platon? You know, it's hard to grok that those voices are planets. Or attached to planets. Orin, it's a two-way line to the 9, right?
It is, if it's Daisy's. What do you want to ask?
I want to know why they abducted me.
That is a very good question. You'll sense your connection to them as a guitar string. Feel for it, then pluck. A loud A. Whoever is closest will answer.
They're ultraviolet. I can do this. It's just saying hello. Here we go.
Emissary, you are just as rare as me. Once in a half-life. And look, you found the quitter.
Whichever of the 9 you are, I want to know what you want with me. Why did you take me from everything?
A rude question. One worth entertaining. We need you. And your gifts. You are called to serve.
Guardian, you've got an incoming call.
Guardians forget their past life for a reason. Who we were is immaterial to our potential as paracausal beings. I am Ikora Rey, Warlock Vanguard. I am an accomplished scholar, pioneer Thanatonaut. I've won hundreds of Crucible matches, and I have thwarted humanity's most dire threats time and time again. The woman I saw, the woman Lode I knew, she wasn't me. I don't even know her name. Yet, I mourn her. She had a life, a vocation, a family she loved. The Nine took that from her. And for what? So they could throw the very same train that killed her at me centuries later? Sprinkle a clever little trail across Sol for us to follow? For what? I have no desire to see more of that woman's life. But I need answers. She deserves them.
Orin? That you?
Yes. There. And here. I was expecting Ikora's tone.
Right, I'm patching her in. Look, we left off on the wrong foot. And I know right before you run off with the Guardian to stomp Vex into dust ain't the best time. But I'm sick of counting seconds not taken for words that should have been said. Someday soon I'd like to clear the air. Just watch your back out there. House's Archon's still at large. There's trouble brewing, and I think you're in the middle of it.
Where we need to be. I think the Vex seek the Nine, through a trace of their influence. Their operation is coiled wires, but with the Guardian, we can cut through. When they pushed out the house, they claimed a capsule of quantum threads. If we want to know why we were brought here, we need it.
Explain.
They're playing you. You can cut off the connection right now.
Look who's jealous. Feeling fleshy? Do you miss being taller than your tower?
It wasn't worth bear traps.
Oh dear. It only speaks nonsense. Primitive synapses. So easily breakable. Can you even remember which one I am?
You're a tad late for this skirmish. Or early. Either way, you must have seen the Vex going about their deterministic routines by now. They're dug in, and trying to assimilate everything around them. They mean to turn a sphere to a circle here, so to speak. We have an advantage, in that the Vex who are exposed to dark matter find themselves caught in a thick, yellow confusion. The presence of the Nine here resists Vex probing with dense air, but it's thinning. We need to address this. I haven't been able to get close enough for a detailed assessment, but you can.
The dampening field signal is coming from this direction, but it looks like there's a branching point.
I see it. They're disseminating the dampening signal to hundreds of frames. This is a code fix. They've recognized their vulnerability to the Nine's energy and are adjusting.
It's still only noise. Tear down the signal and they'll die in the quiet.
Fire team, I'll be overseeing this operation. I want to stay focused and on task.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. Nothing has changed. No matter who I was, I'm still Ikora Rey. Orin, status.
The Vex are watching this place. Rifles strung up in the cliffs. We need to break pottery. Tear it down.
Orin's right. Perimeter scans show Vex signatures, and they've converted the old HCO networks into a sort of security lattice.
She's also right about tearing it down. Keep your focus on the present and find a way through. Without active surveillance, you'll be able to move through the surrounding canyons without tripping Vex security every 10 paces. Taking the Vex's security lattice offline revealed something, Guardian. There's a massive dampening field that extends to the area we know 3 is behind. It's a barrier to entry, but from these readings, that isn't its purpose. Rather, it's stopping anything from getting out.
I'm seeing that too. It's the same type of quarantine protocol the Vex use to close off damaged portions of their network.
They must want to prevent the singularity expanding too. But we'll need to remove it to get to 3.
I remember something else now. A hooked request. There's a message I'm to remember here. Oh, it feels like a decompression, like plugged ears. What I mean is the 9 are holding something back from me. I think I know. I remember. Or will. I want to help.
I think we can get through here now. The signal's getting stronger, and it looks like I was wrong before. The dampening broadcast isn't emitting from 1 point, it's 3. Wait, there's something else. There's an old colonial research terminal still running from when the Ionians landed here. I didn't notice it until we were close, but it looks like the Vex are trying to access it.
Interesting. Let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Bring down the dampening broadcast, and in the chaos, we'll crush their incursion into the old colony systems.
Your plan is crack knuckles. I like it. I'm glad we're taking the direct route. Without you, Guardian, my steps would be mouse squeaks in the floorboard. I've always been more gauntlets and thunder.
We don't have time to be anything but gate crashers. It's the Guardian's forte anyway. If you're looking for quiet, Orin, come back to the city with us when this is over. Rebuild your life in your own hands.
The city sounds like bitter medicine. We'll see. Is buzzing.
That is not a tower. The broadcasts are coming from those giant minotaurs. Stay low, Guardian. Look, another concentration of dark matter. Might help keep us out of harm's way. detecting shield projectors nearby, but it's protected by a security lens. One step at a time, Guardian. This should help us get to the security lens.
Check their shields. The interference is dying down.
Let the Pine Lance splinter, Guardian! Charge!
Orin, contact the 9. Punch through that Vex interference.
vision of you, Guardian. A timely message. A globe spins below you, the planets above. An event into the encoded horizon. I see it. You. The message as a weapon. The weapon is the message. Fate forged. 9 hammer strikes ring. Scattered sparks. Cupped in hands. A weapon, quenched in slick oil. I see the outline of sharp Leidenfrost. All that surrounds it is fluid and easily cut away. No volition in given roles. Smoke. It's gone. Damn. Damn! I could almost see it!
You did great, Orin. Guardian. Seems like the 9 have their eyes on you, too.
Establishing uplink. Wait. These are detailed records of the collapse.
They catalogue the 9's presence as much as the collapse. The Vex study seeds planted in the past to understand how the 9 wove plots around the paracausal.
This data is a playbook for emulating the 9. Orin, do they know we would stop the Vex here?
Of course. They know that we'd need to move the Vex aside to reach the singularity. 3. Agency is a quantum indeterminate. Known hope. I remember they spoke like that.
I'm glad your head's clearing up. I quantum indeterminate that soon you'll be able to make more sense of this than I can.
Only the quarantine is between us and our answers. I can hear victory screaming like fire.
Lodi. The Guardian found an archive of analytical data the Ionians had recorded during the collapse. I think you deserve to see it.
Really? Miss Ray, that's incredible. Anything, and I mean anything that fills in the gaps between then and now would be mighty appreciated.
I think we're dealing with the inner orbits. Dangling an answer from a string is as clear as they get. Sun through Mars. The 9 are tethered by sentience and Sol's celestial bodies. They have a lot of time to bicker. The inner want to talk, the outer less so. It's an impasse.
So we're just swept up in the tides of a grand cosmic plan?
No. Placed with intention. I, to mentor the new emissary. Drifter's been used for years. The Guardian, something yet to be. And you, Ikora, arranged to hear the message you were promised.
I don't plan on being a sacrificial lamb for the 9. Our destiny isn't up to some unknowable architect. It's ours.
moving radiolaria beneath the surface. Are they trying to assimilate Kepler?
We can't allow a Vex conversion to happen. Our own investigation aside, the Ionians call this place home.
We won't save them from the Singularity just to lose them to the Vex. Crush the eye of the needle and the thread will choke.
The Vex here aren't a splinter faction. The Conductor is leading them.
Oh, Sundaresh. Her motives smack of unfinished business and desperation.
If she's here in person, it can't be good. Last we saw her, we learned how cruel she could be, even to her loved ones.
You mean Shioma? I remember the two of them were lost in the Vex network. How is this what became of them?
Shioma was horrified by what Maya became, and Maya couldn't handle that. We know how she works. That gives us an edge, even if she's dangerous.
I want to help, but I need to know who you are first.
Child of 3, who swam in their lakes, sweat on their plains, you have always known me.
Son?
When we woke, we were tied to the planets within the Sapience system. We are bound to our gravity wells. The Inner 9 understand this arrangement, but the Outer 9 see the subtext. Matter is prison, and so we are divided into factions.
Guardian, that machine looks like another time-lost invitation. Similar to the one that empowered you before.
If the 9 want to give you power, who are we to refuse?
Now that's something. I can see you now. When you're all spherical like that, it's almost like a star in the sky. We're connected through a chain of dark matter. It's everything.
If it's a chain linking to your enemies, use it to pull them apart.
A little violent, but if the situation calls for it.
That Vex mind was controlling the flow of radiolaria. Without it, their assimilation of Kepler will stall.
I know Maya Sundaresh and her schism. This shield was an anti-paracausal shell. It is a spark of the Nine, derived from their power. I recognize its shallow anxiety. Kepler harbors their influence.
You aren't suggesting they're helping each other? The Conductor and the Nine?
No. This place has always been touched by the Nine. The Vex exploit it somehow. I can put this together, Ikora. I promise.
I thought most Vex malfunctioned when they were exposed to dark matter. But that new shielding incorporated it.
The Nine don't dabble in coincidence, and everything here is lining up too well. If the Vex are stealing power, the Nine are at least allowing it.
I'd rather not think of the implications of that.
You've lived too long to carbonate in guesses. This time was planned, but not for the Vex. I remember that much.
Got me, 3. I'm paying attention now. I hate these even more.
I agree. This part always makes my shell itch. I actually don't feel you when we're in one of these, Guardian. Let's move quick.
Focus, Ray. Here and now. You're entering the Vex exclusion zone, Guardian. Find how they're co-opting the Nine's power and put a stop to it.
Deep scans are picking up dark matter and deep mantle drilling. This place looks like a quarry geared towards mining out the anomaly's power.
So they're using 3 on the other side to strengthen their shields? We can't remove all the dark matter, but we can neutralize the threat long enough to push deeper into the canyons. I want this refinery in flames, Guardian. And how does dark matter relate to the Nine? My understanding is it's non-reflective and has odd qualities, but is still natural.
The Nine are, in simple terms, made of dark matter. It tangles with enough mass, like they do.
So the Vex are tapping dark matter from the anomaly, and that matter is tangled with the Nine's power? That must be what the Vex are keeping contained. Some live wire that lets them tap into whatever the Nine were doing and reprogram it.
carrying a lot of energy. Probably enough to shatter that conflux pylon. That should lower the barrier and let us out.
You are here. This is where they refine their power.
Wait, I'm picking up Elixni signatures. The House of Exile just ignited a glimmer drill.
One enemy force stealing the Nine's power is enough. Shut down their operation. Then we deal with the Vex.
That's the last of the exiles. Now for the Vex. Guardian, you're looking for a series of conversion engines tied to conflux pylons.
Like I said, Guardian. Leave it in flames.
converter. Refiner. Whatever. The Vex can't convert any more dark matter. Wait. Vex mine incoming!
The Overseer. Old hourglass sands.
I bet they break just the same.
The Titan in me is blushing.
Why would the Vex need the Nine for shielding? I've seen a Minotaur phase through time to dodge an attack.
Against something paracausal, that phasing is a coin flip. The fourth dimension doesn't have that hindrance.
Knowing the Nine can subvert our agency is bad enough. But you're saying they can predict futures the Vex can't?
The Vex find a future that suits them. The Nine engineer one through. Intermediaries and pressure.
Surely they follow some rules.
Ikora, I know what it feels like to have your autonomy brushed aside. That woman is dead, and Lodi worked hard to protect her memory. But in the eyes of the Nine, you exist simultaneously. A constant.
Stop, Orin. These borders matter. I know who I am. Maya's Vex co-opting Nine energy is a bad sign. Even if you don't think they're working together.
I remember her, but her transformation is a blind spot. What happened that turned her into the Conductor?
A fragment of paracausal power touched down on Nessus, and one of her simulations rose out of the Vex neck and claimed it. Originally, she was looking for her wife, Chioma, but the Vex she co-opted began to change, to individualize.
She will not find her wife here, but she will find a being who knows.
Guardian, I've got confirmed intel. The Vex mine maintaining the quarantine has the last strangelet we need to reach 3.
My final tethers to the Nine are snapping. I feel like a live wire fraying. The charge is still there, sparking at the ends.
You won't miss that power? The station? It's a lot to walk from.
The Nine's power, the light, it all came from outside myself. I'm looking forward to finding what's left when that all fades away.
I'm glad to hear you say that and that you're back with us. All the power in the world isn't worth having none over yourself.
That's strange. Some of the radiolaria in the Vex down here is reading as being from, well, not our timeline. They're trying to wall off our path. We'll have to push through some familiar territory to reach the mind maintaining the dampening field.
If the Guardian dismantles it, we'll have enough Strangelet capsules to safely reach the Singularity.
And 3's on the other side with our message. One step closer to an answer. One last leap of faith. If Maya can already manipulate time, why all this friction?
Unlike the Nine, they're bound by their dimension. Chronal flow applies to all. Time moves forward, never backward. I want answers too, Ikora. We're simultaneous.
Looks like we're about to hit resistance. Get ready.
Resistance? You have reached an end, little ghost. Seeking to avert a catastrophe after the fact.
It's an ambush, Guardian. Take cover. They're trying to lock us in. Clear a path and let's look for a way to disable those barriers.
Was for me, Guardian, not you.
The Nine keeps stringing us along. Do they always get the future they determine?
Time is chord notation, the known possible scale of everything. But if the tone is set, why scheme against fate? Still, the Nine try, don't they?
Chords have variance to a degree. Tiny alterations in a range.
You're catching on. The Titan in me misses helping people. The city might do me some good.
I'm glad to hear you consider it. You could help us retake Sol. Start small. Maybe Chicago. Heavy Vex presence ahead. They're trading fire with an exile raiding party.
But thankfully, no giant minotaurs this time.
The Archon must be using us as a distraction to breach the Vex quarantine.
Too bad they crossed paths with you, Guardian.
Guardian destroying that bridge deactivated a nearby exile signal. I think they have sealed off one of these buildings.
Waiting. A bridge across space.
No. There's remnants of Elixir technological signatures in the assimilated architecture here. The house must have been right on top of the anomalies before the Vex pushed them out.
The Archon's been trying to get back in ever since. It makes me think they'll make a push once we bring down the dampening field.
We'll need to be ready. But right now, we kill the noise. Kill the noise and hear our answers. A hook? I haven't felt this since I was emissary. One of the 9 want to speak.
Quitter. Is that you, Buttercup? Release me from those filthy, fleshy hands.
No. My hand resigned a broken contract.
Orin, what's happening?
An unthinkable glimpse. An order. Drawing pinpoint aversion.
No. Too cryptic, Quitter. You want to know how we saved you? The big ball never tell you that. You are flimsy. For me to stay and burn a while, I'll need the one with the fetching fermions.
Ugh! Gunsmoke, stop! Speak to me, not through me. It's my will. Mine.
Quitting didn't take fully?
It did. It's me, I'm me. Those tethers I mentioned still stick to my skin.
If Maya really thought she was inevitable, she wouldn't be trying to stop us. Push through.
everything's being scrambled by a Vex disruption signal. Follow the cabling and we should find the source. These old human colonial outposts have been here for a long time. I wonder what they were researching before they captured this. This route will take us straight to the mine, creating the dampening field. Almost there.
You never tire of learning the same lessons. Your response is not necessary. This is not a conversation. You're only meant to listen. How readily you obey fate. A leader without agency. A discarded puppet wrapped in her wires. And the weapon. Guardian, the Nine flatter you and themselves. But my enemies do not threaten me, because I do not allow it. I command their passivity. They cannot raise their weapons.
Crowding the corners of my cortex. Don't let them in. They'll burn through any non-emissary.
There it is, Guardian. That Vex mine has the capsule we need. I don't care what Maya says. We're on her doorstep and she feels it.
I've had enough of this wall in my brain. I'm looking forward to seeing it crumble. shrouding the corners of my cortex. Don't let them in. They'll burn through any non-emissary.
There it is, Guardian. That Vex mine has the capsule we need. I don't care what Maya says. We're on her doorstep and she feels it.
I've had enough of this wall in my brain. I'm looking forward to seeing it crumble.
The mine's defenses are linked to a series of shielded confluxes. I bet we can take it out with this.